Okay. So, you guys are on Fayley Island. A little bit about the island. It is a small, about 100 to 150 miles across in every direction, give or take, in the middle of elven-owned water. The island itself was given to the former king after a war alliance had been assigned. The island has since become a trading hub, providing checkpoints between various main lands that are on other sides of the ocean. There are multiple terrains, from rocky, tall mountains covered in sharp rocks to white sand beaches, valleys, swamps, and rolling hills. Farmlands make up about 10 to 20% of the open land on the island. The city is about 50 miles inland north from the south shore and about 25 miles west into the island. About 75 to 90%, depending on how many merchants we have in the island at the time. 75 to 90% of the population lives within this city boundary. There are 3 seasons, about 4 months each: summer, autumn, and winter. So that's the general what you guys are dealing with.
Yeah, screw spring.
Screw spring. So right now, it is early summer. It's the island's equivalent of a spring thaw, and it's in full swing. There's fresh green grass budding all over fields. Flower beds are starting to push up buds. The shadows of the buildings, there's still occasional piles of melting, slushy, crappy snow. It looks more muddy, kind of sitting up against the buildings, you know, that crap that you just don't like to mess with. The trees and orchards just out of the city bounds are all starting to bloom, filling the warming but still cool air with sweet, sweet smells that you can smell just about anywhere on the island. So, today, you guys have been called to a meeting in the town hall. As you walk through the city, there is a huge festival going on. Games and booths line the market square, as well as banners of red and gold, blue and silver. It is a festival celebrating the return of the soldiers that had gone overseas to help the elves deal with a renegade dragon riding problem that they had. Now that everybody's home, there are minimal casualties, so everybody seems to be in even higher moods than normal. People are also kind of half-heartedly celebrating the first anniversary of their new kings and their marriage. So as you walk through, people are already, patting you on the backs as you walk by, saying greetings. Some are trying to shove sweets or steins of ale in your hand, but you guys are to the town hall. When you get to the town hall, which when you come in is where you are, there is quite a few people. Not all of them are pictured, but there are quite a few people of all ranks around the not normal meeting hall. This room normally is more of a banquet hall, a small banquet hall, and there are just people kind of gathered everywhere. Any questions or anything so far? Okay. I kind of jumped. I had to modify my writings here, so. Alright. So, as you gather, you look around, you see quite a few people. People that are from, or anybody, you can give me a knowledge roll and see who you recognize.
Oh, heck yeah. Knowledge local? Knowledge local,
let me see. I have to look at someone's character sheet to remember what else might work.
Is there history?
History would probably work. Nobility will work. Local history will work.
Pathetic.
Brilliant.
I mean, in all fairness, isn't Lay like kind of a outsider?
He's kind of a derp. Okay, so right off the bat, everybody, you guys know, maybe not personally, but you know a few people. So everybody right off the bat, you guys know the two kings, King Rathorn and Makota. They are the two standing just on the side of the round table. And, yep, Rathorn and Makota. Rathorn is the main king of the island. He is kind of the high king, while Makota is more of the queen. Makota also was, for those that fought overseas during the battle with the Dragon Riders, Makota led part of the resistance there. You guys, everybody also somewhat recognized as Bracken over here and Sinri. They are the newly proclaimed kings in waiting or training. Princes not by heir, but by choice, from the kings. So they are sitting into this meeting to learn, kind of like a apprenticeship. Let's see. Lay, I'm sorry, Lay, but no, Lay, you do know a couple people here. You know Linendor, is that right? Linador. Is that right, King?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
And Lore, the twins, the Dragonbane twins. They are two of the councilmen. They have been councilmen since under Siegfried. They were two of the originals to help inhabit the island. And you also know Alicia. She was the former king's sister and also King Makota's mother, but she was a former general. She is one of the others that kind of helped the Vargan race come to the island. Let's see, who's next? Okay, Wynn, how do you say his name? Wynn? Elin? Okay.
But he goes by Eli.
Eli. Okay, that makes it easier. We were kind of flipping around his name earlier. Let's see. He recognizes just kind of by rumor and from what his cousin Mir has told him. You recognize right here Cain Blacksun. He is the leader of a demon hunting organization that trained both the kings. He is here kind of to help guide a lot of the problems with the demons and other beasts that have taken over the island. And then there's Cal. So, Cal, let's see here. Fuck you, Cal.
I know everybody.
You pretty much do. Okay, let me go down my list here. You know Grant. Grant is one of the other demon hunters that came on the island with Cain. He is a close friend with Rathorn, which you know because he's yours. And he is a former mentor of Makota as well. And he specializes in vampire slaying and... No, not vampire. Succubus, sorry.
Also vampires.
Yeah, I guess he does vampires too, because he is a Dhampir. Did Cain? You know Miss Kyra Evenglade. She was one of Rathorn's apprentices until she was attacked by a Wendigo and lost one of her legs. She was one of the few Fae on the island, and she specializes in cryptozoology specialism. So she's the one that's going to know everything about every species on this island. It's very handy. And then the last important one of note, well, not really important, let's see. We have Zatir. He is Makota's brother and Ali's son. He is kind of helping out with what the king summoned him for. He is a Vargan, so he has better sense of smell. And Jesus Christ, Jack. They're good for tracking, pretty much. Also sitting in for Cal, since you rolled high enough. Well, and all of you would know former King Siegfried. He's kind of sitting in the back, sitting there, quiet, trying not to draw attention to himself. So, now that we have that established, you guys all enter, kind of take your places around. Rathorn stands up from his seat. He's cradling a small infant with dark skin and white hair. He says, "Good morning, and thank you all for coming." He pauses, kind of dreary look on his face, and looks over everybody. "You all have been asked here because it has been brought to our attention in one way or another that you all have some ability or training that can help protect this town." He seems kind of tired, maybe a little distraught, but he adjusts his stance and kind of walks around the table a little bit. "We're building a few small parties to take shifts to help patrol the city limits in an effort to reduce the remaining demon populations and provide insight on Wendigo behaviors. I understand that a few of you present are unfamiliar with our Wendigo situation." He kind of glances around specifically to Thaddeus and Arkin, and there's a few others that you guys don't really recognize hovering around, and a few people nod, and as he kind of addresses those people that he's not super familiar with, because Rathorn knows everybody, and half the population was interrogated by him at one point. He kind of glances to Makoto. Makoto stands up, steps forward. He seems a little more nervous, awkward than Rathorn, but he's trying his best. "A few years ago," he starts, "people started to go missing. Everyone on the island pointed blame to the demons that were infesting the area, and so no attention was really paid to it. Since then, more and more individuals have been found murdered, others missing. About 2 years ago, we started getting reports of possible murderers and other strange creatures. Reports were unreliable and scattered, so they were kind of hard to follow. While investigating a werewolf situation," he motions to Kyra at this, who nods kind of slowly, as if wanting to put this memory away from her mind, "we encountered proof of Wendigo on the island. Wendigo are rare creatures that are created by very specific criteria that would be difficult to achieve on this island, especially in high numbers." At this point, Kyra kind of steps forward, pushing her way into the middle of the room, and interrupts the king. She leans on the table, kind of trying to avoid standing on her crutch. "Wendigo," she starts, "are typically only created when a person has resorted to cannibalism to survive, typically during a cold season. Occasionally, you can get one to turn into a Wendigo by exposing them to a Wendigo for long periods of time, but the process is slower and more painful." She puts a satchel on the table and pulls out a bunch of papers and kind of starts to sift through them. "The rate in which we have identified new Wendigos is not standard for a cannibalism for survival situation." Around you, the other citizens sitting in kind of start to murmur and shift around. Murder! They're murdering! Jesus Christ. Fuck you, Kink. Murmuring and shifting uncomfortably, kind of off-put by this news, by this statistic. Rathorn nods as the child in his arms starts to fuss a little, and before he continues on, Grant grabs the child from him, steps forward, grabs the child, and leaves the room. The room kind of goes quiet again as everybody anticipates, waits with their breath in their throats, waiting for what the king is going to say. "We are hoping that with reliable people on patrol at all times, we will be able to differentiate..." I can't say that freaking word and I wrote it. "Differentiate issues caused by the demons in the Wendigo behavior which will lead to, hopefully, why we are having a rise in Wendigo populations. He pauses and looks around as he stands up taller, clasping his arms behind his back. I lost my spot. Oh, if you do not wish to assist in this task, which can be very dangerous, please feel free to leave now before we continue. You guys all watch as quite a few people get up from their chairs, some without hesitation, others slowly, as if debating with themselves. Many bow to the kings and whisper apologies as they leave. King Rathorn seems unfazed by the amount of people leaving, while Makota simply reassures each one that there is nothing wrong with them not wanting to participate. After a few minutes, the room settles back down, leaving only about a dozen people still sitting around the hall. Rathorn nods his head slightly and whispers something with Makota for a few moments. We have enough for at least one group, and I suppose that is enough for now. We can have the guards expand their jobs to make up for what you cannot cover. He looks at the remaining people, most of which are you guys. There's a few stragglers. You have a couple servants in the back, a librarian, but you can tell by how he's looking at you guys, he's looking amongst you. I will not ask you to endanger your lives or do more than you are willing to, but the more you find out for us now, the more people we can protect later. Makota steps around the table and hands each of you brooches. They are made of gold and silver and shaped of the sigil of the kings. I have this. There we go. Showed everyone. The badge will show the citizens that you have been chosen by us to help the situation and hopefully get them to cooperate with you in every possible way. Is there any questions from our chosen soldiers? So at this point, since you guys are going to be working with each other, we would like you all to introduce yourselves so that we know just how long you have been on this island and know what to expect while working with you. We will start with Eli.
Hey, chill. Sit down.
I'm Eli Connors, and I'm the cousin of Mirrodin, who is the Aquatic District Lord. And I've been living in the Aquatic District for about 6 months.
And you have your companion Excalibur.
And I have my companion, and I have X with me.
Okay. Cal?
I start with like a deep bow towards everyone. Very extravagant. My name is Calliope. I have been on this island for many years now, and I hope that I can provide some insight towards all the people on this island while we do our jobs.
Very good. Thaddeus. Makota steps forward when they get to Thaddeus and says, Thaddeus is a spokesperson for a companion of mine that I met overseas. Due to him coming to the island late last night on one of the final ships docking, he will be joining you guys later this evening. Until then, you can enjoy Thaddeus's company. Arkin. Yep. Is Arkin going to be writing this? Yes. I will read it here. I have been born and raised on this beautiful island. I may be short, but my heart is large. That is all. Fair enough. And then Lay.
ears kind of fall back once the attention is sort of put on him for a moment, then they just spring back up. I'm Lay, and I've been here for. Takes a moment to think, and he looks up at the ceiling. Yeah, maybe 3 years on the island. Okay, I'm done.
Makoto kind of steps forward again. Lei was overseas and one of the prisoners captured while fighting the Cool, but he has since returned home, and you can see it has not dampened his spirits.
And again, the ears just lay completely flat.
So, after everybody kind of introduced themselves, Rathorn seems to be maybe a little more confident. Maybe he's just hiding his emotions a little better. You can't really tell. But he steps forward again. Said, tonight is the last night of celebration. Tomorrow things will start to calm down once again. And since the city has been alive at night, we have had very little incidents. So I recommend you guys enjoy the last day of celebration and start your journey, your investigating tomorrow night. And I believe you will find a lot of information at night, but rumors are the best way to get news in this island. Do not hesitate to wander the island during the day and explore other leads during the evening. You need to be vigilant at every time of the day. How you do this, it is up to you. But if you catch any sense of the Wendigo or any good information, I recommend using your sources. And at that point, Rathorn just kind of looks at everybody again, turns to Makoto. Makoto nods, and they turn back to you guys. If you need us, you know where to find us. And they both kind of nod, and they leave. So you guys...
Is Kyra still in here?
Is Kyra? Yes. I'm gonna move you whores over here. You are not in the room. So now you have free reign to talk to people in the town hall, and when you're ready, make your way out and enjoy the festivities.
I'm going to, mostly hovering above the ground, I'm going to approach Kyra.
Okay.
And I bow to her. I say, my fellow Fae.
She's kind of awkward, clearly uncomfortable with your race, as she tries to be polite and awkwardly, while holding the table, bows slightly. And I look forward to assisting you guys. Yeah.
Can I try to make like a diplomacy check to make her feel more comfortable with this?
Yep.
Okay. Oh, rip. That means I rolled a 3.
She can kind of see you making an effort, so she smiles a little bit, but you can tell she's not thrilled.
Okay.
Nice try. Fair enough.
Fairy, isn't it?
She likes the effort being made, but she has bad scars with Faye.
Okay, well, I'll lay off on the fairy thing. I say, what do you make of all this?
Kyra kind of shrugs, and she thinks for a moment. It's overwhelming to think that there's somebody out there that have maybe found a way to deliberately create these monsters is unlike anything we've ever heard of before.
So you think that there's a specific person behind this?
It is possible. It's hard to believe, but the correlation with deliberate murders and monster attacks from Wendigo, it's too much to ignore. You're not going outside, child. No. Sorry. He was trying to open the door. Anybody else wanting to?
Lay is essentially just going to, like, duck out. Like, he's just going to go, like, go back out.
Actually, before you duck out, Lay, roll a perception for me.
No.
Oh no.
Yeah, this is...
campaign rolling.
What the fuck was
Hi,
that?
compatriots. I roll to see if I can steal from the barkeeper.
There's no
I
barkeeper.
want his pants.
I'm gonna try and find me thing.
No one cares.
Alright, Lay, as you are turning to leave, your eyes caught by something shiny, and the man standing over here, you see him fiddling with something shiny in his hand, and it's kind of distracting.
Like, he's going to stop, he just turn to him and sort of tilt his head, kind of like that whole, when a dog tilts his head when there's that high tune.
Yeah.
He's kind of looking squat. It's like, this, what? Shiny! Immediately goes, what you got there?
What you got there?
Completely, no suave, no politeness about it. What you got there?
The man that Lay approaches, he is a very different man. I'm gonna blow him up here so those that don't know him can see him. Except there we go. This is Professor Marcus Dracon. He is the island's librarian and record keeper. As you approach Lay, he kind of recoils a little bit, a bit overwhelmed by your sudden just rush over, but he instantly brightens and he just holds up a pocket watch, and on the front it has the sigil of the kings. He just says, "Oh, it's nothing really. It is merely a watch that the kings have given me as a gift."
Lay just, slowly nods, looking, thought one go, then sort of springs up, will happen, okay, and then pisses off.
Yep. Have fun with Lay's ADD!
He's just now outside, he's just hugging Ted. He's like, ugh.
That was scary.
That was really scary. Eli, Cal.
Eli's gonna go over and ask his cousin what he thinks of all of us.
Well, as we all know, Mir is mute, so nobody else can even relatively hear what is going on. I'm not, honestly, Win, I forgot to ask you before all this how Mir and him would communicate.
They, Mir's entire family now signed.
Okay, so...
Because it's, yeah.
Yeah, no, that's what I thought, but at his question, Mir kind of hesitates, thinking, now I forget what you asked. What did you ask?
What he thinks of all of this.
He signs to you that he is worried, but he trusts the king's judgment. and tells you to be careful out there and not to hesitate to come ask him or others of your family or friends to help. He's not much help.
Protective cousin.
Is there anybody else anyone would like to talk to? The Kings are in the other room. Grant is just in the other room. There are the 2 councilmen are still in, as are one of the healers, the old king, a couple slaves, not slaves, servants. Not slaves.
Oh, it's one of those.
Back to work, bitches.
Yeah. Tanny might as well be a freaking servant. Don't even laugh. But nobody knows who Tanny is anyways, so...
What's Kane doing?
He seems to just kind of be sitting there really watching you guys each individually, as if trying to get a gauge on what you guys are good at and what your motives may be for being here today.
Well, clearly Lane's got no motives whatsoever. He's just round up in the room.
So,
Well, that'll approach Kane and ask him what his opinion is on this.
What's
at the same time, I'm flying over to Kane as well.
Okay. Kane kind of watches both of you. His one brow kind of raised. He glares at Thaddeus for a moment. Then he looks at Cal for a moment. And he just kind of shakes his head. And his face kind of brightens slightly. He's still pretty monotone. He's unreadable. But he goes from that deep inspecting glare to a more approachable look. And as you ask what his opinions are, it's just merely another monster. Infestations rise and fall just like the waves of the ocean around this godforsaken island.
That is totally him.
Nailed it.
Spot on.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
So I clasped my hands behind my back and like leaned in real close and I said, "So, how do you kill a Wendigo?"
Wendigo are merely beasts that need to be slain. They're not any different than a werewolf or really any beast. You can kill them with pure force, but they heal quicker than many. Let's just hope you don't have to face one when you're all out on your own out there. He kind of glances at both of you, waiting for more questions or for you to turn away.
Nah, I'm just kind of keep staring him down.
I turn away and just walk off.
I didn't like that answer.
I didn't like that answer. And any other?
I mean, aside from Lay potentially being ADD again, but nothing important.
Did you say nickel or a nipple? Because that was a fine
Nickel.
line.
Nickel. Coin.
Coin. Alright.
Piece of candy.
Well, if you guys are done here, you guys now get to go out to the island, or to the main town, and you get to enjoy the festivities. So, let me find my page. As I said earlier, there's banners everywhere, there's booths everywhere, all of the shops have their doors wide open, letting their awesome smells and sounds and everything just pour into the streets. Along the streets in the main market, which is labeled number 3, there are games where you can win things from coins I don't know why that just popped up. They're from coins to an egg of a a kite, a water kite, which is what Excalibur is, who is Eli's little companion right here. Go lay down. But there's games. So, and drinking and food, and you get to go half crazy.
Quick question.
'Kay.
Which building did you come out of?
The one labeled number 4.
Okay.
If you guys go into your little newspaper, I'll pull it up here. Town map markers. It has the numbers and letters of all of the map points. Same with the main island and the aquatic district when we get to them.
Okay.
There's no descriptions or anything, so if you want to check them out, you can, but that's just the basic map. So, along
The
the
internet is being a pain.
so
Just to forewarn you.
just tell it to stop. Put your foot down.
I did. I threw something at it too, and it hasn't helped.
So along the main street, with all the shops, there's 5 different games that stand out to you. There's a ring the bell. You can occasionally hear the chime of a bell and people cheering. Darts, rubber duck racing, water kite bowls, and an eating contest. And these are kind of scattered out throughout the market, and there's vendors, selling ale and selling knickknacks. The blacksmith's even out on the street. So have fun, do what you want. Tell me what you're doing.
Eli
What
wants
was
to go check out the games.
Okay?
Thad will check on his merchant stand and then go check out the game.
Okay. I hear you, Phoenix.
Timmy, shut up. Oh.
So, Eli, I'm moving you just so I know that Eli and
Okay.
Thaddeus, you are checking out games. So, oh yeah, Excalibur's with you, isn't he?
Yeah.
So the first game that what are you other 3 doing?
I'll tag along with them.
Okay.
Yeah, Lay's going to take a moment, overwhelmed with everything that's happening and all the flashing bright things, and
Gonna get overstimulated.
his senses are going absolutely fucking ape shit. He's just gonna turn around, stay here, Tabs, and then kind of just shuffle along after them, just to follow them, see what happens.
Okay.
Nonchalantly.
Nonchalantly.
I like how we all just huddle together in a little group.
Like, oh, we're partners now. Arkin, what are you doing?
I'm not sure.
At least you're on
Back
it.
alley looks interesting. How about that?
Okay, if you want to shove your way through with the crowds to the back alley, you are free to.
Yeah.
Okay? So,
Maybe.
I'll do Arkin first then. As you go through, you have to push your way through a lot of people to get to the back alley. And when you finally get to the back alley, it's dark, there's a lot of debris. People kind of just throw their trash bags and stuff back there out of the way. There's a few, half-eaten pastries and an occasional rodent, or even more frequently, a fairy dragon flies down and grabs some scraps and flutters off. Really, there's not much back here right now. The one thing that you do notice is that there's a shop sign hanging, Krigo's Oddities, and his door is open, but there's just nobody. It's quiet down there.
Go in it. Do it.
Okay, yeah, I'll go in.
You walk
Yeah, you're
into
definitely not gonna get murdered.
You walk in, and this shop is just Okay, it's only Jack. We'll be okay. You walk into this shop, and it is just crammed, floor to ceiling, shelves upon shelves of the bizarre, strange, and sometimes unnerving items from around the globe and other globes. You see a shrunken head from the world known as Gaia, and you see a jar with something that looks oddly like a two-headed fairy dragon in it. And as you walk through, there's just various items that are just weird. And standing at the far back is the shop owner. This large, old, battle-worn orc with gray skin and faded tribal tattoos all over his face and arms. He's very large, but shows his age with wrinkled skin, a broken tusk, and very gray hair. He asks you with a large smile. He smacks his hand on his counter. "Welcome to my oddity shop. What are you looking for?"
I don't know.
Well, you came to the right place for that.
It's
Can I have one of those shrunken heads? That'll.
the shrunken head. Ah, that's a fine item. It's said to bring you good luck in all your magical needs. It is 20 gold.
Okay.
I don't know what you have in gold, my friend.
I don't either.
Let's see. It's in your character sheet. I believe you go to additional. Yeah. Oh, you have plenty of gold. Do you see where it is?
Nope.
So you go to your so you hit the newspaper at the top right of the screen. And you find your character. Click on him. And you'll get a little pop-up. And when it When it pops up, it'll say bio and info, character sheet attributes. Make sure you're on character sheet. And when you go down just a little bit, it'll have main, additional, spells, and configuration. Hit additional. And then your money's on the right side right there. There we go. So, everybody, that is where your money is, if you did not know.
I am dirt broke.
Did I forget?
Okay, so I have an idea what I'm gonna do.
Did I not give you money? Because I was supposed to give you...
No.
Oh, here.
But it's okay. It's okay. No, it's okay.
You
I'm
sure?
A street performer.
Okay, because I...
Heck off, I don't need your charity.
I
I don't even
meant...
know what I'm relying on.
You having issues over there, Win, or are you just really noisy?
I was just typing, sorry.
Oh, okay. It sounded like you were aggressively clicking on things, like they weren't working.
No, I'm good.
So, Arkin, if you want that shrunken head, it is 20 gold.
Oh, I have to do something?
Well, you just have to tell me and I can take it out of your money.
Yes!
Yes? Okay.
Yeah.
You now...
Yeah, that's the first thing you do in the game is purchase a shrunken head.
Yep. You now... Magical usage. You now have a shrunken head in your possession. Congratulations. Is Jack back yet?
Yes, I am.
Okay. So, while Arkin is out enjoying Kriego's oddities, you guys are all over checking the games, but I need perception rolls.
Alright.
Oh no.
Oh no!
Oh no.
Party's about to be ruined.
I thought I got an 8. Okay.
No.
I'm a little bit better.
You're a little bit higher. So as you guys are walking through, Thaddeus and Eli, oh, and Cal, actually. You can hear a whole bunch of people talk, and there's just so many people right now, you can't really pick out one conversation from another. Lay, I need you to roll a d10.
Okay, a d10. Just the one?
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
Okay. As you're walking, your ears kind of pick up two people having a conversation. They're sitting just by one of the game booths. I heard the king suspended all arrests of the illegal racing. The elf girl that's with this human just kind of looks shocked. I wonder why they'd do that. And the human shakes her head. I don't know. I'm sure there's some good reason. That's all you hear.
Lay's just gonna shrug that off and he's like, that doesn't matter to me.
Yeah, whatever.
So, alright. Let me get rid of that rumor. Hold on. We did that one. Okay.
That's a cool spell. Or is that a trait?
It's a trait.
Yeah.
Or a trot?
It's a trot.
I didn't. Oh, that wouldn't have been me. That would have been him. Okay.
No, I clicked on it by accident. I was trying to do something else.
No, the trot instead of trait.
Probably fat fingered that.
Yeah. You're notorious for it, so it's okay. So, as you guys enter the part of the market where all the games are, the first one you come up to, there is a very large, almost round, half-orc man. He oddly looks like a half-orc and a dwarf cross. He has a brightly colored red beard hanging down his green-skinned bare belly, and he's covered in tattoos, and he points at Lay. Come, lad, come race rubber ducks. It's only 1 copper to play. You customize it with paint, set it afloat. First duck across that finish line gets 5 gold.
Lay just looks absolutely stunned.
What is that?
He's trying to work out.
Just like,
Like, the eyes are wide, ears are up, and he's trying to work out whether he should nod or whether he should try and figure out why this thing's so heavy. He's not entirely sure what to do, and he kind of looks around for guidance. I don't think he's going to get any in this scenario. He's just like, okay.
go for it.
Everybody that wants to play, there needs to be more than one player. Grab a duck, decorate it, and put it on the pond.
I'm gonna push Thaddeus. You do it.
Alright.
Everybody that is doing the ducks, roll a d20.
Dang, okay.
Well,
Are you
that's fine.
serious?
You see her over here, like, choking on the duck.
Oh, you're not supposed to eat it?
Is Cal playing?
No.
Okay. Go ahead.
Can X steal Eli's duck and run off with it?
Yep.
Okay.
As Excalibur runs off with this duck, this half-orc dwarf man puts his arms on his hip and just kind of watches the beast run by. Ah, those sly little beasts, gotta love them. He is just way too jolly, possibly a little drunk for this.
You gotta be kind of drunk when you're raising rubber ducks.
So, everybody decorates their ducks and sticks them in the starting area of the pond. And he gets onto the other side of the pond. You notice a small net that kind of marks the starting line. And he goes, on your marks, "Get set!" And at the chime of a bell, he lifts the net, and slowly, very slowly, and kind of gently, the ducks start to drift forward. And kind of to your surprise, people all around this booth just start cheering and screaming for their favorite duck. Beer is flying through the air and people's frantic excitement as these ducks just kind of lollygag forward. And finally, after many moments of waiting, of tense waiting, one duck crosses, and then a second duck crosses, and finally all 20 ducks cross. And he turns to a small little kitsune woman. "Ah, you are the winner this time!" And he points to Lay. "You got second place. Better luck next time. That's a champion you got there!"
This guy's psychotic.
Poor Lay's got like his ears down, everything's so fucking loud. He's like, help!
As he's
That just kind of moseys on through the crowd like, yeah, I'm gonna...
as you guys kind of finish up and the next round of racers start to get ready, if you don't grab your duck, he hands you your duck, pats you really hard on the back, and shoves you kind of on your way.
Like, take your duck and go! Get out of here!
Someone roll me a d6.
Okay.
Okay. So the next... Jax, well, actually, you both, I think, rolled the same game. You guys kind of finally start to move on, and the next game doesn't have quite as much attention, and it's surrounded by burly guys. There's a bunch of orcs, there's a couple dwarves, there's a couple humans here and there, but for the most part, they're orcs. The game is clearly orc-made. It is made out of stones and branches. It's kind of crudely made, but it's also kind of the point. And across a banner next to this giant stone and wooden pillar, it says, "Ring the bell, 1 copper to play." And as you guys approached, one orc is leaning on a large hammer and just kind of stares at you, waiting to see if you want to play.
I kind of push Cal forward. I'm like, go ahead.
As Cal stumbles forward, the orc stands up, laughing, and picks up the hammer by the head and holds the handle out to the little Fae. And
I take the hammer somewhat begrudgingly.
And you need to roll
like a finger, it's on you.
roll a strength check to hit the bell.